Welcome to History at Home, bringing the museum to you. I'm Sarah Byers, Assistant Curator with the Niagara Falls Museums. Olive Irene McAfee was born in 1895 to Charles and Isabella in West Gwillimbury Township, Simcoe County. Her parents were of Irish descent and they were married in 1895. Irene was one of two daughters, the other one dying in infancy. Tragically, her father only lived until 1897, dying of tuberculosis. Isabella was from a large family of 5 boys and 5 girls growing up on a farm at Colson's Hill. At some point before 1901, several members of the family packed up and moved to a new farm site in Stamford Township, near Thompson Point and the Whirlpool. Irene spent much of her time in her youth between West Gwillimbury and the Stamford farm. Her mother was widowed and 4 sisters never married. After the family settling in Stamford, one brother, Calvin, courted and married one of the Thompson girls. It was the memory of this time in Stamford during her youth that established Irene's connection to Niagara Falls. The Roberts and Thompson farms were eventually expropriated for the construction of the reservoir for the Sir Adam Beck power generating station. Irene went on to become a teacher predominantly in Toronto, eventually owning a home in Mount Pleasant where she lived until her passing. Her extended family still live on the farm at Colson's Hill and throughout Niagara. Irene had a love for fine glassware and antique furniture. Her home was brimming with hundreds of pieces which she treasured, some handed down and others purchased over the many years of her teaching career and also after her retirement. She put much thought into where her collections would go upon her passing, and she contacted various museums in her birth community of Simcoe County and in Niagara. In the end, about 150 of the smaller pieces were donated to the Niagara Falls Museum. Irene passed in 1985 and she is buried at the family plot in Colson's Hill, Simcoe County, with her parents and several Roberts relatives. Along with her glass collection, Irene had an extensive collection of paintings and other artifacts. Special thanks to Barbara Crown-Botton for sharing this history and memories of her mother's first cousin Irene. When visiting Irene's Toronto home, children were always instructed to sit quietly and not touch anything. There was breakable glass on display everywhere, on every table and surface, in every room, even in the basement. At every visit, Irene would recount the story of her latest treasures purchase. Barbara accompanied her more than once on adventures to Simpson's department store and then home again on the subway to view their latest acquisition in the antique department. Thank you for joining me once again for History at Home, bringing the museum to you.